And it's PLB, but there will be news back with another video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the best rookie for every MLB team in the 2020 season. So, as we know, there are some farm systems that are really, really good and that have multiple prospects that could be up in 2020 that are really, really good and top 100 prospects. But there are also some organizations that just don't really have good players. So if you like this kind of content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you will get notified whenever I upload a video. Link to the other channels in the description below. Make sure to check those out and subscribe to those. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. And we'll start off in the NL East with the Atlanta Braves. And for them, I'm going to go with Christian Pache, who I think is a slightly better prospect than Drew Waters. Both are very good, but I think they both are good. They're both really good prospects. I think Christian Pache is just slightly better and will be the first one up. Because Drew Waters was on the Mississippi Braves, their AA affiliate last year, compared to Christian Pache, who was on their AAA affiliate last year. So he's closer to Major League ready. I say you can expect both up in 2020, especially with Nick Markakis opting out of the season. And he is the number one prospect in the Braves organization, and that's a stacked farm system, so you know he's pretty good. He is currently on the Gwinnett Stripers roster. His ETA is 2020. The scouted grades that MLB.com gave him, his hit was 55. His run 70. He's supposed to be really good. He plays a really good center field. My comparison would almost be a Billy Hamilton, just can hit the ball better. Field 70, they say he plays really good in the field. Power 50, even though he did hit quite a few home runs for Gwinnett in 2019. Arm 70, he has a really good arm as well. And overall a 60 player, which is pretty good. We'll move on to the defending World Series champions, the 2019 World Series champions, Washington Nationals. And theirs is Carter Kieboom. Kieboom is a player that will definitely be up in 2020, especially after the loss of Anthony Rendon in free agency. Now, let me go ahead and say that Carter Kieboom is not nearly as good as Anthony Rendon. Still think the Nationals are a good team in 2020. And my 2020 MLB season predictions, I feel like the first ones I did were kind of way too early, even though not much has changed. Just some players have opted out. But I do want to do some updated ones. So make sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on that video. ETA for him is 2020. Most of these players are going to be 2020 because it is the best rookie for every MLB team in 2020. So he has a hit 60, run 50, field 50, power 50, arm 55, and overall 60. So another really good player. Next, we move on to the Phillies where they have Alex Baum. Now, Spencer Howard most likely will be up in 2020 as well, another top prospect, but Alex Baum is a slightly better prospect, similar to the Braves. He is a third baseman which is a perfect fit for the Phillies considering they have a third baseman now, Gene Segura, who's really not a third baseman. ETA is 2020, but he is only in AA right now, so it could be 2021. He was supposed to be a huge trade piece for Chris Bryant if Chris Bryant was traded. Also, Nolan Arenado. Any really good third baseman that could be traded. He was pretty much their main piece. And I don't think they want to give up Spencer Howard. I think Alex Baum they'd be willing to give up, just not Spencer Howard in a trade like that. Next for the Mets is Andres Jiminez. I had to go... No. Jiminez may not be up in 2020 because the Mets already have Ahmed Rosario at their shortstop position. But he is their best prospect they have for the 2020 MLB season. But he will definitely be on the player pool, taxi squad, whatever you want to call it. He is the number 3 prospect for the Mets in all of their organization. Their organization is very weak, though, because they traded pieces like Simon Woods Richardson, Anthony Kay, and other pieces. But they still do have Ronnie Mauricio. He won't be up in 2020. Hit 55, run 60, field 60, power 40, arm 60, overall 55. Next for the Marlins is Sixto Sanchez. Best prospect for the Marlins by far, even though they do have Jesus Sanchez. and they have a great farm system. 2019 stats, he has an 8-6 record with a 2.76 ERA. He started out his career with the Phillies. Sanchez has pounded the strike zone ever since he has been in pro ball. Fastball 70, changeup 60, overall 60, slider 55, and control is 60. For the Reds, it's going to be Alfredo Rodriguez, and I had to scroll way down to see who their top prospect would be for 2020. Now, Hunter Green is 2021, I would go with as his ETA. Nick Lodolo, same thing. They already have Freddie Galvis at the shortstop position, but he is a free agent after this year. And most of their top prospects will not be up in the majors for a year or two. His hit is 40, run 50, field 60, power 30, arm 60, overall 45. For the Cubs is Nico Horner. He'll be playing second base if he is called up to the majors in 2020. He is a shortstop usually. He was drafted in the first round of the 2018 draft by the Cubs. Hit 60, run 55, field 50, power 45, arm 50, 55 overall. Cardinals, Dylan Carlson. They have a lot of good prospects. Nolan Gorman as well. Matthew Liberatore. They were very high on my list when I ranked farm systems in one of my previous videos. His hit is 55, run 55, field 60, power 60, arm 55, and overall is 60. Next for the Brewers is Corey Ray. Now they have a terrible farm system, so this is not really even a good prospect in my opinion. They don't really even need an outfielder up right now. His hit is 60, run 60, field 55, power 55, arm 40, and overall is 45. So not 60 like most of the other prospects, or 50. Next is the Pirates, Mitch Keller. He's been in the major leagues before. They have some other good prospects who could be up in 2020, like O'Neal Cruz, who I think is going to be an NL MVP one day. Ke'Bryan Hayes is also a prospect that could be up, and he is almost major league ready. Fastball 65, his curveball's 55, control 50, slider 50, changeup 50, and his overall is 50. Next for the Dodgers is Gavin Lux, one of the best prospects in all of the minor leagues. Did spend some time with the Dodgers in 2019. He did not have a good stint with the Dodgers in 2019. And I think he will be a lot better in 2020. The Dodgers have a top 3 farm system in baseball, in my opinion. I think that's pretty much in everybody's opinion. Dustin May, their number 2 prospect, is also major league ready. Hit 60, run 60, field 50, power 60, arm 55, overall 65. So he's a really good prospect. He's higher than Christian Pache, Carter Keegan in the overall. Next for the Diamondbacks is actually going to be Corbin Martin, a player that came over in a trade in 2019, the Zach Greinke trade. Came over in a trade with the Trash Can Bangers. Yeah, they're the Trash Can Bangers. Trash Town, as Trevor Bauer says. His fastball is 60, slider 55, control 50, curveball 55, changeup 50, and overall is 50. So he's pretty much an average prospect. For the Padres, Mackenzie Gore. Really good prospect. His ETA is 2020. He is a top 20 prospect in baseball. Fastball 60, slider 60, control 60, curveball 60, changeup 60, and overall is 65. For the Giants is Mauricio Dubon. He spent the start of his career till 2019 and was traded over from the Brewers organization. So he hit 4 home runs and 9 RBIs in the little time he did spend with the Giants, and then he 2 home runs and 56 RBIs and a .302 batting average in 2019 in the minor leagues. Moving on to the Rockies, where I'm going to go with Dom Nunez as their best prospect. I saw him play with Asheville in 2015. He's a very good prospect. They don't have a lot of pieces that are really ready to come up. I'm not going to put Brandon Rogers on this list just because he has had previous major league time. That's why Dom Nunez gets on here. We move on to the AL, where the first team is going to be the Orioles. Adley Rutschman, got the Orioles hat on right here. Adley Rutschman. Adley Rutschman's a top prospect in baseball. And you could probably see him at number 1 one day. The Orioles have a very bright future, and not a lot of people realize this, and I could make a whole video on this. And I think I might. Red Sox, Jeter Downs. Jeter Downs is a top prospect in baseball. He came over in that trade with Mookie Betts. For the Rays, you've got two options. You've got Wander Franco, the number one prospect in all of baseball, who finished 2019 in Single-A Advanced, or Vidal Brujan, who plays second base, and he's a little closer to the major leagues. I would say Wander Franco's 2021 ETA and Vidal Brujan's 2020. So if I was the Rays, I would go with Vidal Brujan and let Wander Franco have a little more time in the minor leagues. Yankees is Clint Frazier. Clint Frazier came over from the Indians in a trade in that Andrew Miller trade. Clint Frazier, I think, has been just a teeny bit overrated in his career. Blue Jays is Nate Pearson, a top 10 prospect in baseball. Really good prospect, and he will definitely fit in as the number 2 in that rotation. For the Indians, it's going to be Nolan Jones, even though I don't really think he's ready in 2020. And that's simply because he only finished 2019 in Double-A. The White Sox, theirs is going to be Luis Robert. He is the AL Rookie of the Year favorite, besides Joe Adele. But they also do have a prospect in Nick Madrigal, who's going to be really good, play second base. Their second baseman right now is Leary Garcia, who's not worth a crap, really, at second base. For the Twins, it's Alex Kirilloff. He's another top prospect in baseball. He's an outfielder. I just don't really know where he fits in with this team, if that makes any sense. I think he fits in as possibly a DH. He's an outfielder. I don't see him playing the outfield, though. For the Royals, it's going to be Brady Singer, a right-handed pitcher. They do have Bobby Witt. He's not ready for 2020. His ETA, I would say, is 2022. For the Tigers, you've actually got two options. You could go with Casey Mize, who's probably the more likely option. Or you could go with Spencer Torkelson, their 2020 draft first-round pick. Got a huge signing bonus. And a really good player. If I was them, I'd go with Casey Mize for right now. But don't be surprised if you see Spencer Torkelson up in the major leagues. For the Angels, this one's pretty obvious. It's Joe Adele. For the Trash Can Bangers, Trash Town, it's Forrest Whitley, a right-handed pitcher. They do have Kyle Tucker as well, but Forrest Whitley is the better prospect in my opinion. Even though I think he does have some spots to improve. And I just think he's better than Kyle Tucker. I think both have been a little bit of a bust. For the Mariners, I'm going to go with Jared Kelenic. Jared Kelenic was formerly on the Mets, and he came over in that Robinson Cano trade, which looked good at the start considering they were getting Edwin Diaz. But now, no. It's tough. For the Rangers, it is Sam Huff, catcher. The Rangers need a catcher badly, and I think he plays more DH. I think he fits better in the DH role, and he could fit well in the DH spot considering Sensei Chu is kind of in the end of his career, let's face it. And Sam Huff, he's really good. 15 home runs in 1 month for the Crawdads. Really good player. He is on the player pool, but you could definitely see him up in 2020. I still think Jose Trevino is still probably going to be the second option instead of Sam Huff. But look for Sam Huff up in 2021 and look for him to do some damage. And for the Athletics, it's going to be Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy's a catcher. He's definitely going to be up in 2020. There's no real... he's going to be up in 2020. The Athletics need a catcher badly. And they've just had mediocre catchers, and finally, they get a top prospect catcher in Sean Murphy. So that's going to be the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you enjoy the content. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon. Make sure to check out my other channels. Link in the description below to my other channels. Subscribe to those as well. And yeah, I'll be back with another video tomorrow. It's going to be Crawdads and Dash and Braves programs, part 2. So make sure to leave a like on the premiere. I'll link to it in the description below. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon.